Hello, and welcome to this video where we will discuss the psychological, social, and emotional development of children in late childhood. The aim of the lesson is to assist in the understanding of what typically developing children have the capacity for between the ages of 9 to 12. Let's begin with the psychological development. 9-year-olds are able to focus and be more independent in their schoolwork and projects. Their attention-switching abilities continue to improve. Cognitively, they're able to think in a more logical fashion and thus scientifically. They continue to enjoy reading longer books, but perhaps less interest in magical stories, fairy tales, and fables. At 10, a child's problem-solving abilities increase along with better logical thinking. Classification and organization, along with better attention span and concentration, help the child learn more efficiently in the classroom. At this age, they continue to learn best via doing. Deductive reasoning abilities emerge stronger at 11. They start to have the ability to demonstrate abstract thinking, for example, thinking without models or manipulating information mentally. They enjoy learning new things rather than relying on old abilities. They are able to apply perspective taking and take on more complex academic tasks. Many 12-year-olds begin puberty, which brings along substantial changes in the brain. The emerging adolescent brain begins to crave stimulation and new experiences, but at the same time gets easily overwhelmed. Higher-order executive functioning abilities begin to emerge and does not fully mature until the child is 25 years old. These emerging functions can lead to impulsivity. The 12-year-old can also begin to appreciate and think abstractly and see the world with less dualism, meaning they can see the world in grey rather than black and white. For their social development, at 9, arguments between peers may increase, although this is less so with adults. There is more understanding of what romantic relationships are and an increased understanding of sex. However, there is very minimal interest in these at this age. The 9-year-old has awareness of what makes them different from others and has concerns with being accepted by peers. 10-year-olds generally understand and can follow rules well. Their friendships may take on deeper meanings as they seek friends out for emotional support in addition to company. Fitting in continues to be something they want to be able to do among peers. They start to experience the differences in racial, ethnic, cultural identities in themselves and their peers. Socially, the need to belong becomes stronger and his or her identity is more defined by their peers when the child is 11. Their identity is also defined by their own race and ethnicity. Due to increased cognitive abilities, they begin to challenge parents, teachers, and adults, for example, in more intellectual conversations surrounding abstract concepts. Interest and curiosity in sexual relationships increase. For a 12-year-old, much more time is spent with peers compared to family, and this forms their primary source of support. They begin to modify their behavior and thinking to fit in. While 11-year-olds will question and challenge rules, 12-year-olds want to discuss and have a say in rules. As for their emotional development, 9-year-olds are more sensitive and may feel hurt easily. Additionally, worries and anxiety may increase. They can also be determined, motivated, persistent, and at times impatient. Perspective taking at this age is possible. They seek approval from adults and peers around them and are generally expressive in their experiences, their sharing of the world, and their feelings. 10-year-olds are generally easygoing and flexible and have a strong sense of morality and what is right and wrong. They enjoy activities where they feel competent in. Emotional regulation is done more cognitively. There is a preference for predictability and routine in their environment. Moodiness and unpredictable emotions occur as some of our 11-year-olds begin puberty. Their sense of self also begins to form based on their internalized beliefs and begins to struggle internally between themselves and their environments. There is a strong sense of morality and fairness by this age, although they may not necessarily be able to appreciate the abstractness and grayness of more complex concepts. 12-year-olds have a zest for life and are enthusiastic, but can be unpredictable and difficult to read at times. They want to make their mark on the world and have a say in things around them. Their sense of self becomes stronger compared to when they are 11, and they may experiment in different ways of behavior. They tend not to share their emotions with family members, but try to sort and manage these emotions themselves. They begin to be sensitive about how they look and how they do in school. When should we be concerned? For 9-year-olds, if they are worrying excessively to the point where daily functioning is affected, is a cause for concern. Additionally, social difficulties and any withdrawal from interaction due to fears of failure are things we need to watch out for. At 10, children who lack interest in socializing with peers and have poor social skills are the ones to watch out for. Moody and sullen kids should also be flagged as they may have hidden emotional difficulties. Children with drastic changes in their diet should be flagged as well. 11-year-olds who experience mood, oppositional or aggressive difficulties that are impairing daily functioning should be flagged for additional support. Parents who have difficulties in supporting their pre-teenagers' autonomy might need additional help. Eating disorders can start at younger ages. Thus, any eating difficulties that were not previously present that leads to any growth or weight changes should be investigated immediately. Any lack of interest in socialization at 12 and/or mood difficulties warrant further investigation. Parents who have difficulties in supporting their pre-teenagers' autonomy might need additional help. Restrictive eating or binging behavior with a sudden change in exercise behavior should be investigated as well. Any sudden, unexplained cuts and marks on the child's body should also be looked at. Now, how do you communicate with children? I will be taking a leaf out of Professor Janet Treasure's new Motley method for treating anorexia nervosa with a structure on how parents can communicate with their children. This is called the ALVS structure. The first point is to attend to the child's needs, as it helps reduce emotional intensity. Attending means we tune in to the particular emotion the child is feeling. For example, we can say, "You look tense and wound up." Next, helping the child label the emotion, especially at younger ages. For example, "You seem frustrated," or "You look angry." Then, as the child's brain is still in fight-flight mode, getting the child to problem solve is not going to work because they don't have the capacity to listen and absorb it. Instead, it helps if adults validate their experience. For example, we can say, "It must be so frustrating for you when you are trying to fix your toy and mommy asks you to do something else." This also sends a message to the child that the parent is able to tune in and understand what the child is going through, which is tremendously helpful in fostering good attachment and communication. Soothing is something most parents jump quickly in, as it seems like the most pressing need when the child is upset or in distress. However, in highly emotional situations, going straight into soothing does not help, as the child will not have felt hurt and emotionally contained. Soothing is optimal after the first 3 steps have been done. Soothing can be done in any way the child likes to be soothed, like hugs and cuddles, listening to music, hugging a soft toy, having a drink of water or snack, etc. The final step is optional. This is perhaps more pertinent for older children as they seek autonomy and want less of adults' help. However, as adults, we want to help our children as much as possible, even though they may not necessarily want our help. Similar to the previous step, too many adults jump in to problem solve for the child when the problem is presented to them without going through the first 4 steps. Many times, this may lead to the child shutting off and refusing help even if they really need it, because they have not felt heard and understood. With that, I will end this video where we have gone through the psychological, social, and emotional development of children between the ages of 9 to 12. Thank you.